Right. Well, Kufar Akbar, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Cross and the Crescent discussion group. This is a live streamed YouTube live stream show dedicated to rightly dividing the truth between Christianity and Islam. We're here every Sunday afternoon from 4 p.m. to generally about 5:30, 6 p.m. Tonight, we're going to be cutting out of here just a little bit early because we're having a Christmas program tonight, but I have to be at the church a little bit early. We're getting, if you all haven't heard, we had a lot of tornado activity here yesterday, and we're getting things together for the victims. So we would covet your prayers for those people that have been affected by the tornadoes here and down in Nashville. The one tornado hit right across the street, right across from the school that I teach. There's a elementary school, and right behind the elementary school is where the one tornado hit. So it's personal, but of course, God is in control, and there were 3 people that were killed here. I got a funny story. The Queen and I were at Hobby Lobby yesterday. And while we're in Hobby Lobby, everybody has those warnings for like weather warnings on their phones. It's like whoop whoop whoop. So everybody's phone's going off at the same time. So that's kind of comical. Everybody's kind of looking at each other, and we're looking at the radar. And I'm looking at the radar on my phone, and it has like a little pin where I am, and then it has this clouds coming right for the pin. So I go out. We're standing in line. She's got to return. I go out in front of the store, and I walk around the side, and I look up, and there's just massive front coming in on top of us. And I'm like, that's not so good. This must be what, they were talking about, because it had touched down across town, and now it's making its way over to where we were. And so I go inside, and the manager, she doesn't really know what to do. And she kind of looks at me, and I said, look, I just looked outside, and it is about 2 miles that way and coming in right on top of us. And just as soon as I said that, the lights went out in the store. So it's just as soon as that happened, she goes, all right, everybody to the back of the store. So we had to go to the back of the store. We stood there for about 20 minutes. Anyway, the bottom line is that the people here in Kafiristan need your prayers. They covet your prayers. So any prayers would be helpful. But everybody in the community is going to cover down. We're a military community, and this is what we do. There's been a couple people that we know lost their homes and suffered a lot of damage. So please keep those people in your prayers. I haven't told anybody. I think I told Rad. What?
I said amen to that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I personally would covet your prayers also. I got to take myself an ambulance ride this week. Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, what happened?
Yeah, he
Um,
sends me this picture, and I'm like, and then it's like, and then there's like no response. He's like, I'm dying. I'm like, what? Where are you? And
okay,
there's like nothing
okay,
for like a day,
I'm
and I'm like,
I'm
okay,
in
whatever.
okay. Let me tell you the story. Okay, I'm in school, and I sat down. We just got done starting the class, and I'm getting everybody on task, and I start feeling this pain and right here. I'm like, and then all of a sudden I start getting lightheaded, and I'm like, mm. So the assistant that I have in the class that assists it was with my inclusion class. So I said, can you just watch? I'm going to run down the nurse real quick. Well, the nurse, my blood pressure was 193 over 106.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I was like, I was like, oh, whoa, wait a second,
Dude, not even
that's a little
I've
high.
been that high. Not even
Yeah,
I've been that high, dude. Yeah.
I'm like, is that a little high? She says yes, and she runs
Yeah.
out of the room.
Yeah, that's pretty much an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she runs out of the room, and the EMTs are they're right next door. So they come over, and they took me to the hospital. The bottom line is they couldn't find anything. By the time I got out to the ambulance, I was feeling fine. The blood pressure had come down, and we're not sure what happened. And so Tuesday, again, I'm coveting your prayers for Tuesday. I'm going in to see a cardiologist, and hopefully he can find out what happened. I don't want to have a problem where he says, "Well, you got a problem, you got to fix it." I just hope that there's some resolution to that, because that just doesn't happen often. That doesn't happen, and people live to tell about it too often. So,
Right,
It,
right.
it happens when you get old, though.
but
Oh, come on. Don't
and no, I'm taking it like a man. I mean, that's true.
That's right.
But you know
That's
what?
right.
This old guy is going to be retired in less than 6 months. So that's
Maybe that's what you're stressing over. You're going to be retired, and you don't know what you're going to do with yourself. Because
Oh no, he's stressing
Oh.
over. He's stressing over hurrying up to be retired. Trust me,
yeah.
I know how he feels.
am I
Yeah,
going to
I want
make
to
it?
get.
Am I going to make it?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm in the hospital. I'm
That's
thinking,
probably what stressed you.
no, I'm riding down the road to the ambulance, and it's going right by my house, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking, you know what? This really isn't worth it anymore. I mean, you got to go out and you got to go out and get this bucket list of yours
Right.
cleared, where you're not going to have any fulfillment in your life. So I'm just kind of that was just kind
Yeah,
of one of
dude,
those
you got to
final
survive
things.
at least 6 months to a year. When I get the weight down, we go jump out of airplanes together.
That's going to be who
Just
when we do that. Finally, I get it.
yeah.
Okay, so let's okay. Enough of the personal crap. Let's dive into this. We're only 7 minutes into the show, and I appreciate everybody coming and being here today. I didn't even bring up the comment section. I didn't. Well, we got
Yeah,
quite a few
there's
people already.
somebody in
So
chat there, Eric.
who says
Somebody in chat, Marshall Gregory.
Marshall? Is Marshall here? I don't see him. Oh, there he is.
It looks like
Marshall.
Get
Why
get
would
rid of
we
that
let
punk.
Marshall? I don't know. No, hold on, Ed. I understood. Ed, I don't have a lot of love for the man myself, so when we brought him on the other day, it was actually kind of entertaining. But then at the same time, let's just get through a couple of these things, Marshall, and then we'll see. Because maybe you won't like
Man, the only thing he cares about is him being right. That's the only thing he cares about. You got to understand this guy. He's a pig.
pig is kind of a strong word for somebody that's. But I mean, swine of the
No
humankind.
need,
I put a.
no need to be insulting tasty animals. I'm just saying, but no. So I agree with you, Eric. Seriously, because Marshall, love you, brother. Why would stop fucking law? Not brother. Love you, dude. Kiss, all that stuff.
Then I didn't,
But
Rob.
yeah,
Thanks.
I'm just saying. And you've been behaving lately, so yeah.
And yes,
Love to have you on.
he's been gentlemanly,
But
and I get it.
we're
But
we're gonna gotta go hardcore a little bit on some of your peeps here. So
well, let's
they might
start
not
off with
like
some
it.
of his peeps. Let's start off with.
Yeah,
Let's start. Okay,
yeah.
so this week's topic is hateful and hate-filled Muslims and what they say. And what I have done, and Rad has done, is we have gone in and we have kind of surveyed the landscape of what's going on out there, and and what's being said. And I just happened over to our he's not a racist imam from Houston.
He just does racist
Because
things.
he says so, and that's okay. I wouldn't accuse him of it. I don't accuse
He's a
him of being racist.
transphobe.
I accuse him of a lot of other things, but racism, I could care less.
No,
but,
he is a transphobe. He's officially a transphobe. He wrote the book on transphobia.
Well, that doesn't make him a There's no such thing as a transphobe. It's just like there's no such thing as an Islamophobe. I mean, it's just.
But I like saying it. It's kind of.
If they're really out to get you, they're out to get you.
Right. I mean, it's just a way to try to shut you down. That's all it
Exactly.
is. It's just a way to get you to be quiet. So I don't even recognize those terms. But anyway.
And just like that, Eric's gone.
Eric,
all right, so I'll continue
frozen.
talking to you until Eric comes back. So someone posted.
Allah froze Eric.
Okay, did I miss something? Who is this guy? Yeah, so Marshall Gregory, he's a longtime fan of the show. Seriously, this goes back several years to pretty much the beginning of the show, like pre-COVID. Hold on, yeah, he just crashed, so Eric's coming back. So hold on a second, we're getting a message from Eric. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, he should have sent that computer back in the first place. It was what I tried to tell him, but oh well. Anyway, yeah. So Marshall. Actually, I like Marshall. I mean, although Marshall led what's called the cyber jihad against us on the Cross and the Crescent, and he pretty much got everybody kicked off Facebook. Thanks to him. My personal Facebook account page with all my family photos and everything, I mean, that I can never recover, thanks to him, Facebook permanently deleted him. Now, it wasn't solely because of him. I mean, it was probably because of the January 6th stuff and Trump stuff. Definitely, that's when Facebook finally said, we've had enough of you, you got to go. But they did cite all the other stuff that thanks to Marshall, and all the false flagging stuff. I mean, he actually got me, dude, I kind of respect him a little bit for this. He actually got me suspended for well, actually, it was a total of 90 days one time. There's a total 90-day stint. He got me suspended for one post that I did back in 2015. And then after the 30 days, I came back and I said, hello, Facebook, I'm back. They mass flagged that post. And because it was just me coming off the 30-day post, Facebook automatically said, this is clearly hate speech, saying, hello, Facebook, I'm back. It's clearly hate speech, and you can't appeal it. You're banned. And then after I got that one, 30 days later, I said something of the same effect, and he got me kicked off again because they mass reported. So, I mean, I felt that was kind of hilarious and funny in a weird sense of the way. Hold on, I got to add Eric.
This is what they have to do. This is what they have to do to protect their profit, because they don't have any answers. So what they have to do is they have to kick you off. They have to kill you. They have to get rid of you so you don't say things about their profit, because they can't prove against what we're saying.
Right. Well, again, I'm just saying as a tactical thing, I thought it was kind of badass. I was like, kudos to you, Marshall. But then COVID hit and it got serious because then they were taking away communicating with family.
I keep asking this question. Where was Allah when we showed up in Iraq? Where was he? Nowhere to be found. Period.
He was in Kuwait. He had gone to Kuwait, is what he did.
Yeah, he ran to Kuwait. Where was he? Nowhere.
He was hiding out in Saudi Arabia. I don't know.
He didn't want to come. He was like, I ain't having any of that. That Kafir Arby's got something going on. All right.
Guys, welcome back, Eric. Welcome back to your show.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking charge and moving me off to the side and all that stuff. Okay, so today what we're doing is we're looking at some of the hateful things that Muslims say. And we've prepared all kinds of different videos to watch today, but we're going to start off with the one from our favorite imam out of Houston. I even posted on the timeline last night what we were going to, not on his timeline, when you can comment on the YouTube videos, say, hey, we're using your stuff tomorrow. I hope you don't mind, and give us a copyright strike or whatever. So what I want to do is I'm gonna let me get this up here.
By the way, for those of you
this.
listening who are
anti-Muslim
stupid,
inner circle.
this is called fair use doctrine. If you are a Muslim who wants to complain about the copyright, this is the fair use doctrine.
Okay, yeah, and plus we'd fight it, and he'd get a strike if he erroneously does that. Okay, so let's go back to this now. Notice the tone is being set here. It's like this is a calm, soothing tone. I'm confident in what you can trust what I'm saying, and it's anything but that. So enjoy. Here we go.
Core group of activists attacking Muslims and Islam. Anti-Muslim, anti-Islam activists attacking Muslims and Islam around the world is nothing new.
Okay, and I'm sorry if I interrupting already, but anybody that provides a criticism of Islam is somebody who's attacking Islam, according to this guy. Anybody that would provide a critique of Islam is attacking Islam. So if I was to say Muhammad, or let's say I said something as simple as Aisha was 9, is that going to anger people? You betcha.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because if you say, they have that. If you've seen that video, the guy in England, all he said was Aisha was 9, and they attacked him for it. So anybody that would speak the truth about what their own trusted sources say is attacking Islam. It's not providing a criticism; it's attacking Islam. So let's make sure we understand the difference here.
But in the United States, the attacks have been driven by a surprisingly small, and for the most part, closely knit core group of activists.
Now, before I brought this up, I had no idea who these two guys were. I had to get with Paul to explain to me who they were. So let's listen into what he says here. But we're close knit, nonetheless.
Their influence extends far beyond their limited numbers, in part because of an impressionable legion of right-wing media personalities, as well as politicians who provoke and guide populist anger over what is seen as the threat posed by a mere 0.6% of Americans who are Muslim.
It's 1.1%, but no biggie. I mean, he doesn't even know his own numbers, but that's okay.
It's an agenda that goes far beyond reasonable concern about terrorism into the realm of demonization. Two of the core members of the anti-Muslim inner circle are the father and son team of Paul Galbutz and his son Chris Galbutz.
Okay, they're the core members and are two people I had never heard of before.
So Eric was showing me this video last night, and I'm like, who are these people? Actually, I thought for some reason, because it kind of looks like Eric, right? A little bit. That's what I thought he was talking to, was Eric. But it's not Eric. I mean, I don't know. I just saw the glasses and the blondish kind of hair, so I was like, okay, that's Eric. But I quickly realized it wasn't. I thought maybe it was like Eric from back in the day. I don't know. Well, Eric, you're the one who told me I look like all these kind of pedophiles. But anyway, that's
Let's search out what's doing. That's all was going to come up.
Anyway. So I'm like, who are these guys? It was like, I don't know them, but whatever. I don't know. Nobody knows them. Well, of course, Paul would know them because he's our chief Islamic historicity researcher in charge. But no, does anybody here other than Paul know who these people are? I never heard of them.
How about Mutahadi?
Nope.
I've never heard of these guys.
Okay. You need to buy this book, Muslim Mafia, by David Galbutz. And the reason why he lists him as Paul, it's P. David Galbutz. He's trying to be insulting to David. He likes to be called David, so doesn't like to use his first name. And his son. Reason he's upset with his son is his son who's went undercover into CARE. And CARE, all he did, he was an intern for CARE.
Well, we're getting that, Paul.
Yeah,
Hold on. Yeah.
Because
this is really good. Let's.
You're getting ahead of the punchline. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Nobody has heard of him. Nobody has heard of him except for Paul.
But listen to the consternation. Well, anyway, here, let's just listen. Okay. Hold on. There we go.
Both are associated with the organization, the Society of Americans for National Existence, also known as SANE. Paul Galbutz is the co-author of Muslim Mafia, Inside the Secret Underworld That's Conspiring to Islamicize America. He's also the director of operations for SANE's Mapping Sharia Project, which is a privately operated effort to infiltrate American mosques in an attempt to expose radical elements.
Okay, so why
Galbutz did so.
Hold up, shut up, Kenny. So why would somebody want to infiltrate local mosques to expose? What did he say? Expose radical elements. What would possess somebody to do that? And what is wrong with that if you are truly doing this to expose the threat that is coming from these mosques? I mean, he's acting like that's a problem.
Exactly.
And what are the radical elements? What are the radical elements? Does he define that?
Well, never did.
Well, no, that's the thing, though. That's something that Kenny, who says he is opposed to radical Islam, whatever that may be, supposedly is opposed to. So shouldn't Kenny be doing this? Shouldn't be this the job of every Muslim America to sit there and report these people that want to blow up, okay, and kill Americans? I can tell you the truth. I mean, being involved, with certain elements during January 6th, I never got involved with these people, but I'm telling you, if anybody came up to me and said, "Hey, we're gonna go blow up a Capitol building," I'd be like, "FBI, dude, here you go." I got no problem with that.
What are they doing that Muhammad didn't do? What are they doing that Muhammad didn't do? I'm curious.
Fire AK-47s.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Yeah, they can say, yeah, Muhammad never fired AK-47s.
If you think Muhammad would have had AK-47s, do you think he wouldn't be firing them? Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's innovation. Innovation, Ed. You're talking innovation. But anyway,
firing spears.
But the point is, why would Kenny object to this? Why would Kenny object? Well, unless he's just objecting, the kuffar are doing our job for us. No. Kenny should be doing this job. If he is truly opposed to so-called, if he says there is so-called radical extremist Muslims and that don't represent his flavor of Islam, then shouldn't he be the one exposing them instead of the kafir? That's the question.
Okay, let's jump over because we're only a minute and a half through this, guys. We got to go. Okay, sorry for pushing us. Here we go.
By posing as a person who had converted to Islam.
Oh, well, that's okay. That was the key thing. That was okay.
Come on, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. So his son, listen to his son does. His son goes to these mosques. Am I correct on this? Goes to these mosques and says, "I'm a convert. Allah Akbar. Bismillah, yabba yabba do," whatever they say to each other. Okay. And they say, "Well, welcome, brother." So now listen to what he does. So he's pretending to be a Muslim. Like these guys never have tried to infiltrate any of the American systems before. Like he's playing like, well, it's sad that they would do this to us. Yeah, hypocrite. Here we go.
And in his book, he uses documents that his son, Chris Galbutz, who also posed as a convert to Islam in order to become a member of CARE, in order to support the book's assertion that CARE is a front for the Muslim Brotherhood and that CARE supports international jihad against the United States.
That's true, though. I mean, if it's true that CARE is a front for the Muslim Brotherhood, CARE is a front for Hamas, CARE sponsors international jihad against the United States, what's the problem? Oh, wait, they expose this and actually have the goods to demonstrate it. Let's carry on.
Chris Galbutz was paid $148,898, according to Sheila Musaji,
Okay, now look at that number, $148,898. Okay, now what did he do for $148,898? Watch.
Of the American Muslim website while posing as a convert to Islam as an intern for CARE.
Okay, so
dude, that's it. I'm converting as I'm gonna go apply for an internship at CARE. Seriously, 148 grand. Well, no, his specific
and
148,000.
$898 as
Rather
an intern.
specific.
Who makes that as an intern?
Okay, interns do not make a penny. So this is the purpose of the what they did was they took this Sharia fund and they paid off this guy because he became Muslim. I mean, I don't have any proof for anything that's claimed for the money, but they're saying they paid an intern. Interns are usually not paid. So that's
okay, I agree with that. Now, where okay, Paul, do you know this off the top of your head where this was, where he was doing this? Was this like in Falls Church, Virginia, or was this in the
I
DC
believe it's
area?
out of it's the DC area CARE organization. And it is the national headquarters is where he was working out of.
Okay, so with that said, I can understand paying somebody a salary close to that because the average income in that is the folks. If you don't know this, it's like the Hunger Games. We're sending all of our money to the capital, and they're living large. The highest earning per capita income in the country sits right across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C. All these fat cats that suck money like a sieve from our tax coffers, that's where they live. And the cost of living there is absolutely atrocious. So if this guy was like, now that you say that, he made $148,898, okay. But if what Paul says is correct, that makes even better sense. All right, that just blew my mind. I was laughing when I heard that.
Prior to that, his father, Paul Galbutz, was a civilian agent who worked in the Middle East for the United States Air Force's Office of Special Investigations. And Galbutz made it a personal project of his.
He was in the Air Force.
He was in the Air Force. He's not civilian. He's military.
So what did he say? Well, no, hold on a second.
He said he was a civilian.
You can work as a civilian and work in investigations in DOD.
Yeah, but
because we have civilian investigators.
You have that today.
Well, even then, at that
time, I'm pretty sure he was.
I say he was a military. Spook, and that's it. He was a spook. He was with the State Department.
I'm going to say he was military. That's as far as I'm going.
Okay, all right.
I can't say more.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. All right, let's nail this down.
And the theme of his book, to prove that the Council on American Islamic Relations, also known as CARE, is linked to international terrorism.
They are.
And in October 2009, 4 members of Congress, led by Sue Merrick of North Carolina, held a very embarrassing press conference claiming that the book written by Galbutz revealed a Muslim plot to infiltrate the government.
Okay, so Paul, let's see here.
He wrote it.
Okay,
and I wrote it. I did it at the same time which is crazy. We both wrote about it.
Okay, so
what year was this?
2000.
I published my 15? First. This is my second version of the book, published 2016. His version that I have, he has it 2009. I'm a little bit behind him, but yes, it is there. It's proven. It's documented.
Okay, so when he's complaining that these guys wrote books, which should include you, that provides information that the Muslim Brotherhood and all, what did he say? It was Muslim, was it revealed the Muslim would be Muslim Brotherhood folks are trying to infiltrate our federal government. Now, keep in mind, this is right at the height where a lady by the name of Uma Abedin, you remember Uma, and Anthony Weiner's little. Okay, anyway, This is where
right.
you have
Yeah.
her. You have an Iranian national working as the chief of staff for the Secretary of Defense. So all of these things.
Secretary of State. Secretary of State.
What did I say?
Secretary of Defense. You said Secretary of
Oh
State.
yeah, Secretary of State. Yeah.
But it was worse. She worked for. She worked originally for the First Lady.
Oh yeah. So when Bill was president, am I correct on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay. So go figure. Okay. Anyway, he's complaining that these guys are writing about the exposure of Muslims trying to influence or work their way into influence the federal government. Now, when do we sit? Now, I'm just going to ask. I'm just going to throw it out there, and because everybody knows it, that comes to the show anyway. When we look at UNRWA, the UN agency that is responsible for providing relief and aid to the Palestinians, that is a cesspool of anti-Semitic pigs. You go to the State Department today, the United States State Department, you had career civilian employees write letters that were, what were they doing? They're calling for like a ceasefire. They're saying you need to have a ceasefire immediately. We disagree with the president's policy on this. If you are a civilian and you work at those levels and you're complaining about what the president is doing, you need to unass. You need to resign and go someplace else. You do not do that. You either are going to support the president and what he does, or you're going to leave. So you had a group of people who thought it would be, they have enough comeuppance, whatever that word is. They have enough where they can stand up and say, hey, you're wrong, Mr. President. You're wrong because we have to support the Palestinians. When you think that you can do that and you don't think that the State Department hasn't been infiltrated by these pieces of garbage, you're sorely mistaken. Let's get back to this.
I've been asking over and over and over again, and nobody has ever given me what I've asked for.
All right, go ahead. I will. I'm going to do it right now.
I want a map of Palestine. Where is it? Show me as recognized by the United Nations.
Okay, no. It's right in the UNRWA material that they teach there in the schools in Gaza.
No. I said United Nations.
Oh, well,
the recognized territory of the United Nations of Palestine.
There's the word. Thank you, Nico. The gumption. Look at, what was I saying? The comeumption or whatever. It's gumption. That was the word.
Yeah, Forrest Gumption.
Forrest Gumption. Yeah, I am not a professional. I pretend to be one, but I'm not one. All right, let's get back to this.
And their hardest so-called evidence was a document showing that CARE had encouraged young Muslims to become capital interns, much like any other Washington, D.C. interest group would.
Yeah, but that Washington, D.C. interest groups, let's make sure we understand what he's saying here. Washington, D.C. interest group, CARE. Now, how many Washington, D.C. interest groups have close affiliations with terrorist organizations? What Washington, D.C. interest groups funnel money directly to terrorist organizations? What Washington, D.C. interest groups founders have been imprisoned for having terrorist ties? We could go on and on and on. This is like one great big river of crying, and it's absolutely priceless. I just when I listened to it, I was doubled over laughing.
And in his own words, in an essay on the Northeast Intelligence Network website, published on June 10th of 2008, Paul Galbitz said the following, and I quote, "As an ideology, Islam is a terminal disease that once..."
Terminal disease. Islam is a terminal disease. Okay, let's see what else he has to say.
Thank you.
That's some pretty strong language. Hold on. Terminal disease, that's mean like you're that's like having hypertension where you got a blood pressure anyway.
Spread is hard to destroy. Once the ideology or this cancer takes hold, it's like trying to remove millions of cancerous cells in one's body. It's not impossible to remove, but very, very unlikely. End of quote.
Okay, so what he's saying is that once you have Islam infiltrate a country and become, there you go, Paul. Thank you for Paul. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, trying to get
the cancer, civilization jihad, the cancer. Once it infiltrates a country and they reach a certain percentage of that country's populace,
this is true.
They take over, and when they take over, what do they start doing? They start the minority are discriminated against, and the Muslim Sharia displaces whatever was there before. Has anybody seen
that can only happen? But hold on, that can only happen in Western governments that have lost their freaking mind. I mean, look at right now. The Muslims are at the same percentage of the transgendered people, if there are such a thing. Okay, but yet the transgendered people actually have superiority over the Muslim people now for some reason. No, in this oppression Olympics, seriously. But either way, we are suffering in the West because I don't know what happened. Oh, I don't know. Something happened like the 1960s. I don't get it. But either way, where we came with this idea of that all cultures are equally the same, all cultures are morally the same, all cultures should be respected, and we took liberal Western ideas to the extreme, and thereby we all of a sudden now we have oppression of minorities against oppressing the majority, and we think this is virtuous and good. No, this is it's not. It's no. Let me put you this way, and this is going to be controversy for some of you. You know, we like to laugh at the queers for Palestine and queers for Hamas. Are you guys hearing me? Can I get a mic check?
Yeah,
we can hear you, but don't you dare play that out. Don't you?
I'm not gonna play it, but it is funny. But no, we laugh at them. The queers for Palestine and queers for Hamas and all this stuff. We're like, yeah, they're the useful idiots. No, they're the socialists. They're the Marxist communists, the jihadis, the Muslims. They're the useful idiots for this Marxist communist world global domination. Trust me, no religious identity group does well under Marxism. No religious identity group does well. Okay, look at the Uyghurs. Look at everybody.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what Rob's referring to here. He said that can he read this off of his script?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He did. Well, he did. Yeah, he said this is not Kenny's words. Is what I'm getting.
Yeah, he's reading. He's reading quotes from things. So far, he hasn't really read his own opinion much.
He doesn't.
Okay.
He's reading quotes. That's what he's doing. That's why he actually sounds intelligent.
Okay.
Not really, but go ahead. Yeah.
All right, Harry. Let's go on. All right.
And in another essay published by the Assyrian International News Agency on February 13, 2008, Paul Galbert said the following, and I quote, "The political ideology of winning over the West and the world for an Islamic caliphate is not specific to some extremist groups of Muslims. This is mainstream Islam and Sharia, and the goal remains the same. All of the non-Islamic world, and indeed all of the Islamic world, must submit to Sharia."
Okay, so what is that not? Thank you, catastrophic failure. Thank you, Paul.
Okay, this is documented. What he just said is documented in this book by Stephen Coughlin. So Kenny doesn't know that, but this is one of the. I mean, this man's work. Stephen Coughlin
this is what
being documented in that book.
Well, this is what the
Muslim Mafia,
right? And this is what I mean. It isn't like this is a state secret of some sort. You have people saying it. Oh, well, hold on, just a second. Where is? Hold on, stop. Okay. Which one? It's okay. I have two clips here. Let me just play these clips, and then we'll come back to what Kenny was saying. Hold on. Let me bring this back up. So I'm just trying to. Okay, here we go. And I don't like playing these because you can't start. Rad and I were arguing about this last night. You can't start over. So let me make this as big as I can.
Oh,
There's 2 clips here. What?
which is that the first one you had listed, or no? It's not.
This is the second one. Or no.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's look.
I have the first one.
And conquer the world. Get your finger out my face. What do you mean?
I have that one.
That Muslims are going to dominate the world. I'm not going to be your dhimmi. I'm not going to be your dhimmi.
And you will give us the jizya.
Because I'm not. See, there we go. There's the extreme. There's the extreme.
We're going to take our goods. You don't belong there.
Stop running away
can't
from the
take
subject.
it. That's it.
You literally said you're going to dominate the world.
Yeah, we will. And what? What are you going to do?
Your empires have collapsed. The caliphates are nowhere to be seen. You come here and you say you're going to dominate the world, and we're all going to pay you a jizya. I'm not paying you nothing, mate.
You will.
We'll see. We'll see if I pay you a jizya.
Then must
you say thank you to the British government?
Okay.
This is reason to accept the things. My last book, The Cancer Civilization Jihad, talks about this hijra. The purpose is jihad, which is what that man is claiming, and he believes that his showing up in England is reason to believe that you guys will pay him. And you know what? I think pay him to get out of there. I mean, that's fine.
But this is,
I'm to the point where put them on a plane, send them back to wherever they came from. If they speak like that and they're threatening treasonous actions on your country, put them on a plane, send them back where they came from. Revoke whatever citizenship they received, send them home, because he's threatening treason.
Paul, you left something out. Send them back with half the fuel.
Oh, I'll send them back with a parachute. I'd be happy.
Say that again, Ed?
Fuel. With half the fuel.
What does that mean?
They won't make it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I mean, so he's saying,
okay.
Don't give him enough fuel for the plane.
Oh, I thought. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I thought that was like a word, have to fuel, and I'm like, maybe I'm not here. I don't hear good, and I thought I missed.
Oh, it's part of its StreamYard. So
okay, here we go. Can we go back to this, or did you have something else that you wanted to put in there, Paul?
I just want to say that I documented this infiltration in my second book, which is now I think up for sale for really, really cheap. My other books are up for sale right now on Amazon, extremely cheap. They're like $3, but I get the full commission, so buy them for $3. Yeah.
How much did I pay for
Believe it or not. So this one is only out on ebook right now. That's the only way you can get it. But in the last chapter in here is on government infiltration. So, Kenny Bomber, if you actually want to read a book that documents using government documents put out by the Muslim president known as Obama. Yes, he put the visitor logs out there so I could just, copy and paste them. And I did into the book. So, yes, take a look at the government documents that document the Muslim infiltration of the government.
Get out of my country, Kenny.
All right, let's go back to here.
A Muslim who refuses to do so will be killed. A non-Muslim, assuming he is not a pagan, typically a Christian or a Jew, might be given the opportunity to live in a subservient status in an Islamic society and pay a special head tax to prove his submission.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait. Does Kenny refute this? Is this, dude? This is standard Islamic doctrine. This is standard
09.0, 09.1. Yeah, it's the definition of jihad.
No, seriously. This is standard. Is he going to deny this? No.
It's actually in the Quran. He's refuting the Quran.
It's in the text. It's in everywhere. As a matter of fact, Kenny even himself, when he used to come on our shows back in the day, he would defend this and say, "Yes, this is a great thing. You can, if you're a Christian and Jew, you can survive under us. You just got to pay us a tax. What's wrong with paying a tax? I got to pay taxes. Everybody's got to pay taxes, so you got to pay taxes. What's wrong with that? You know what I mean?
Paying you nothing, boy.
No. So I mean, what is he refuting here? He's, thank you, Kenny, for enlightening me to these Islamophobes of the highest order, according to you. I can buy their books and I can read them, and I want to be a fake Muslim and go work for CARE as an intern for $146,000 and 146,089 whatever and 33 cents.
$148,900 or $898.
There you go. That's what I want. Well, under Bidenomics, it would now be 300,000.
It would probably be close to that. Yeah. Okay, so so to say that, now come on. Let me just replay that part again, because this is to say this is just so over the top stupid. Hold on, let's play this.
And pay a subservient status, assuming he is not a pagan, typically a Christian or a Jew, might be given the opportunity to live in a subservient status in an Islamic society and pay a special head tax to prove his submission.
Okay, so now.
He just targeted Christians and Jews.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to read right directly from the Quran by Robert Spencer, and it says right here on page 137, chapter 9, verse 20. We all know this verse: "Fight against those who do not believe in Allah or the last day, and do not forbid what Allah and His Messenger have forbidden, and do not follow the religion of truth, even if they are among the people of the book, which is Jews and Christians, until they pay the jizya," which is that tax. That is that tax in order to, it's a protection tax. It's like the Muslim mafia. This is like the mafia with a god. This is like the mafia who says, "Hey, you pay me this tax or we're going to kill you or we're going to burn down your store." And then here's what it says: until they pay the jizya with willing submission. Oh, he even uses the word right out of the Quran, and feel themselves subdued. Now, we don't even have to listen to Robert Spencer. We can go to Al-Azhar University approved Reliance of the Traveler, the Sharia, and we could read all about paying the jizya. Where would we find that? I'm not, you know what?
09 point.
I don't even care. I mean, it's just so. Yeah. Here. Hold on. I thought I just saw it. Theft. Demi rules, jizya. Here we are. The non-Muslim poll tax, page 608, 011.4. The minimum non-Muslim poll tax is 1 dinar. Let's see here. It is collected with leniency and politeness as all debts, and is not levied on women, children, or the insane. Such non-Muslim subjects are obliged to comply with Islamic rules that pertain to them, safety and indemnity of life, reputation, and property. In addition, they are, and it provides a laundry list of things that they have to do. So the bottom line is that this is Sharia. This is Islamic law at its worst for non-Muslims. It's in your own books, dude. I don't know how you can make such a statement without thinking that nobody is going to look or going to check or going to know. This is what liars do. Go ahead.
He's the liar, and he knows it.
Yeah. This is one of the things that Sam was upset with me. I was telling him that he's a liar. I know you got to beef. You got to beef. Oh, he's a liar. I mean, he's lying to you, Sam. You know, anyway. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, this is how much it is. It depends on which country you're in and at what point in time it is. But the jizya is a repressive tax for non-Muslims, period. And it has nothing to do. Let's just make sure we understand this specifically. It has nothing to do with paying money for tithes and offerings, because this is one of the arguments I've heard. Well, they don't pay tithes and offerings to the mosque, so they have to pay something. Okay, so if they pay something to the Islamic State, what do they give now to their church? It doesn't make any sense. It's a duplicit type answer. Let's go back to this. This is too much fun.
But this option is left to the caliph or ruler at that time. End of quote. In summary, it's quite easy for anyone with an unbiased mind to recognize the fact that Paul Galbutz and his son Chris are both Islamophobes.
Okay, so notice he uses this word.
I think I know where this comes from now.
What?
I think this comes from the Bridges Initiative. I think he's entirely reading the entire thing from the Bridges Initiative.
With the Bridges Initiative.
George Washington University. I got to look it up now.
Okay. All right. Get back with us on that. Notice the language that is used here. If you have an unbiased mind, then you would conclude that they're Islamophobes. So that what that means is that if you don't conclude that they're Islamophobes, so that means that you have a biased mind. This is what you teach freshmen, or sophomores and debate clubs. This is the type of language. This is how far his education has taken him. Okay, let's go on further.
They're both liars.
Whoa.
Presented themselves as
reverts
to Islam.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So, okay. This is perfect. They lied. Oh boy, them evil men. They lied because they presented themselves as reverts. Now, I get it. I absolutely understand. You shouldn't lie, if you're going to do that. But if you're trying to work undercover and gain some type of information, okay. But notice he does not have any condemnation for the Hamas holes and the people at CARE who have lied to the public to generate millions of dollars to fund and funnel to the Hamas holes. I don't see any condemnation for their lying. I don't see any condemnation for it doesn't matter. I mean, the hypocrisy here is so flippin' thick that it makes you want to gag almost on every syllable that is said here. Here, let's go some more. Here we go.
In order to infiltrate Muslim groups, in order to try to demonize and villainize them with their lies and deceptions.
Okay, so the only demonization and villainization here is the Muslim Brotherhood, is CARE. They have done this to themselves. CARE is the one that is sending money to our country's enemies, trying to pose as this human rights group. The only people that have done this is CARE. And I'm going to show you a clip here. Let's go. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead. Rad, are you there? Rad?
I think I found out where this all comes from. Oh, wow.
Okay, Rad. Can I play that Nihad Awad clip? Would that be okay to play that?
Oh, yeah, please. Oh, yeah, please.
Okay, I want to hear what Paul has to say first before we go to Nihad Awad. Go ahead, Paul.
So I'm going to put this. I'll share this page in just a second. Wow. I may have just found where Kenny is stealing all his work from. Just a minute.
Now, notice he didn't give any attribution to this. Notice.
I'm not saying.
And one thing I put on there is he has 61 views of this video.
Let me grow this.
That's and he's got over almost 3,000 subscribers. That's pretty bad.
This comes from Islamophobia.org, which is owned by CARE.
Oh.
And it is, a lot of this is pretty much word for word. Yeah, this is kind of humorous.
Look at that. Look at that. Paul, can you send that to me? Because I want to. Yeah,
I'm gonna put the link in the chat room and in the private chat. So
yeah, because here's what we can, if he's reading it without attribution,
I think he's reading from two places. I think it's actually in two different places. There is a document on him on the Bridges Initiative. So let me pull it up first. All right.
Put it in private chat because I can't pull it up off of.
Yeah, I put it in both.
All right.
So there's another one in the Bridges Initiative. I just got to go back and look. And I think he's combining two different documents. The Bridges Initiative is one. And I say Bridges Initiative, it comes from the wonderful George Washington University, who illegally uses who takes federal funds and pretends to be an educational institution and violates the IRS code. And that I'm one of those who have written against it and have tried to close it, but he can only do so much. Yeah, because there's stuff here. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to tell people to look at this other location as well. I'll put it in the private chat as well. Take a look at this link. It should blow your mind. I think almost everything he's used, this is the reason why Kenny is not a scholar. He doesn't attribute anything. You look at my book. I mean, I've got over, I'm looking at my second book, Civilization, Jihad, and the Myth of Modern Islam. And if you actually look at it, I mean, you'll find a bibliography in there. You'll find footnotes. Let's see, how many footnotes? Oh my gosh. I have 2 appendixes in there, 233 footnotes in just this book. And let's see, my last one. I do footnotes because I personally have a great hatred of, I hate endnotes. All right. I have 217 footnotes in this book. And I mean, a huge place where you can actually go and check things out for yourself in the bibliography. I mean, yeah. Kenny just, you know, it doesn't read like he talks. And that's a concern whenever I get, you know, this is when you're an educator and you get someone communicating with you in a much more scholarly way than when they write a paper, you sit there going, where'd they steal this from?
Right. Yeah. And then, well, hold on, but there's, okay, I'd go into AI, but we had a conference about that this week as far as detecting student plagiarism because they're using AI now to write their papers as opposed to just simply going off the internet, cutting and pasting, and they're trying to defeat that. But there's a new AI program out there that
use AI against AI. I love it. Brilliant. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
AI wars begin. See, this is how Skynet starts. AI versus AI. See, it starts out in 8th grade. You know what? What's going to happen? It's going to do it. You're going to start World War, whatever.
Okay, here we go.
Go ahead.
The people of Gaza only decided to break the siege, the walls of the concentration camp on October 7th.
Okay, so notice the language. The people in Gaza are in a concentration camp. The concentration camp has beachfront property, has high-rise super hotels right along the beach, offers a wide... Okay, so the only reason why things suck in Gaza is because of the Hamas holes that this guy supports. That's the only reason.
Is Gaza Palestine? I'm confused.
Did he say Palestine?
Yes, Gaza is part of the area that Muslims use the term Palestine.
Well, if you look historically, if you historically look where the Philistines are from, it's right there in Gaza. So technically, sure. Okay. What? Go. What?
I'm still looking for the map to Palestine. Where is it?
You're never going to find it. I mean,
everybody just wants to graze right over that. And don't worry, just forget about that. Let's go on over here. I mean, I've been asking this question all over the place. And nobody can.
You seriously think anybody? Do you think anybody is going to though? I mean, seriously, Ed. I mean,
that's why I keep harping on it. That's why
even
I keep going. Hey,
I even had the guy that the Great American Lion Adawa, who's I don't see him in chat anymore, but he sent me a picture. You want to see Palestine? Here's Palestine. He sends me this picture of this coin, and it says right on the coin Palestine. And it was used in that area at that time. You see, I found Palestine. It was minted by the British government.
It also has in Hebrew. No, all these they're all showing up now. But in Hebrew, it's in English, and it's in Arabic. Okay.
And Marshall Gregory still hasn't produced it. Marshall Gregory still hasn't shown.
And he can't. None of their best scholars can. So. All right, let's finish this guy up. Nihad.
And yes,
look at it.
I was happy to see people breaking the siege and throwing down the shackles of their own land and walk free into their lands that they were not allowed to walk in.
Does he say anything about what they did when they walked into that land? Let's see.
And yes, the people of Gaza have the right to self-defense, have the right to defend themselves. And yes, Israel as an occupying power does not have that right to self-defense.
Okay, so let's follow that bouncing ball. The Gazans, in self-defense, cut through a fence which was meant to protect the Israelis from them. So their self-defense is to cut through a fence that is meant to protect the people that they're attacking. That makes all the sense in the world. No, it doesn't. But this guy's a liar, and he knows it. And they go into Israel, their land, evidently.
Well, Eric, make it simpler. This man who represents Hamas in America is defending his brothers in Hamas.
Right. Yeah, and look, but look at the language he's using to excuse what they did. Because notice he goes, they went in there to liberate, or he didn't even say to liberate, to walk into their land to fight the occupier. Now, what flippin' occupiers were they that had children that were in bed, and they machine gun kids in their beds? Machine gun women out on the street, burned them alive, raped their women unto death. What type of, every time I start thinking about this, and I start, and even this week they're starting to get it at the UN, where they're starting to say, okay, women's rights organizations, where the flip are you? We look at what these Hamas holes did to these Israeli women. They went into their homes, or even at the festivals, and they were raping them when they put a bullet in their brain pan. They were being raped at their moment of death, and then they mutilated their genitalia while they were raping. These guys are flipping cranimal. They are animals. And this guy, in his three-piece suit, all prim and proper, with all this semblance of some sort of piety, is coming across as this ambassador for the Hamas holes in our own country. Let's finish this up before I barf on him. Hold on.
Gaza became the liberation source, the inspiration for people. Gaza transformed many minds around the world.
Okay, so these Hamas holes who came out of Gaza transformed many minds around the world. This is what we see on these college campuses today. They completely ignore what the Hamas holes did to the Israelis. Completely ignore that. When you start saying, well, they raped Israeli women. Oh, well, the Israelis have been raping Palestinian women. No, they haven't. That is a lie. So this is exactly what they do with the Bible in Muhammad. They try to make the people in the Bible seem as big a scumbag as Muhammad was. When you look at Muhammad and Aisha was 9. Okay, since Aisha was 9 and he was 53, therefore there must be examples in the Bibles where there was other scumbags. Like, I don't know, Isaac. Isaac was, what the hell was it? They said Isaac was, and Rebecca was only 3 years old when he married. That's a lie. Joseph was 90 years old when he married Mary, and she was 12 or 13. That's another lie. What they have to
they can't prove it.
What they have to do is they have to try to make people, the people within the Bible or the other people that they are attacking, as big as scumbags as they are. There is no excuse. No excuse. And history has this way of working this kind of crap out. There is no excuse for what these Hamasos did. There is no excuse what is going on in the college campuses today, calling for the Jews to be pushed out of their land. No excuse.
And even if that did happen, does that make it right?
If what happened?
Yeah, that's why Andrew Martin is pushing the U2 fallacy.
Yeah. If Joseph had sex with a 3-year-old, does that make it right?
Well,
no, it doesn't.
Well, the thing with that is that Joseph, we don't follow Joseph's sunnah either.
Well, actually, I understand that, and if you go in and you read the scriptures, you'll find out that there's no way they can ever how do I say this?
I still can't picture a 3-year-old carrying buckets of water for a camel.
Yeah, a 3-year-old carrying buckets of water. I mean,
as much as they could drink.
That's Samson's daughter. Not, that's Samson's God.
Again,
Are you kidding me?
Again, we know this is a lie. I was just using that as an example, but this is just one of the many lies that these people, this reputable person, sits there and tells to a public that doesn't realize that they're being lied to. Let's continue to listen to his language. This is sick.
Including people who are not Muslim. What kind of faith these people have? They are thankful.
Hold on. Okay.
They're not afraid. And Israel did not scare them because they knew that their heaven is in Gaza.
Okay. Israel does.
Wait. He just said their heaven is in Gaza. Yeah, Gaza is a concentration camp. So they live in heaven. And it was beautiful until they attacked Israel. Oh.
He said that they are not scared. They are not scared. This is why they're hiding in tunnels underneath the earth behind civilians. These guys are the epitome of cowards. And to try to equate them to some type of soldier is absolutely turning the truth of the matter on its head. These guys are what you cannot get a better example of what a coward does. This is like the stolen honor thing, where people dress up in military uniforms and go out and present them as some type of war hero or whatever. This is the same thing that these guys are doing. They're presenting themselves as these soldiers for Allah, these soldiers for liberation. They go into the enemy territory, which were neighborhoods, machine gun innocent kids, women, and families, and then turn around and run back into their holes and hide there. And then they complain and say, well, wait a second, why are they killing so many of our civilians? Well, my question is why aren't you outside of your little holes that you're hiding in, protecting your civilians, instead of having your civilians protect you? This is what cowards do, and that's what these people are. They're nothing but flipping cowards.
Wait, hold on a second. So let me get this straight. So Gaza is their heaven, and
it was.
but they had to break out of their heaven. But they had to break out of their heaven, okay, to go and kill a bunch of. Well, honestly, if they would have just killed the Israeli soldiers, no one would have a problem with that. They'd be that's okay. Soldiers. So that's what soldiers do. They're there to protect their people. The Israelis would have a problem with it, but worldwide, be like, yeah, okay, good for you. That's brilliant. I mean, honestly, when I saw that, I thought they were only attacking, the Israeli soldiers, the bases. I was like, damn, they stepped up their game. Remember that episode? I'm like, damn, I gotta give them respect. They stepped up their game. But no, and then we found out later they did all this horrible stuff. But here's the thing. So they had to break out of their Islamic heaven, their Islamic paradise, go and kill a bunch of Jews, rape their women, steal their bicycles and other stuff, and then go back into their Islamic paradise. And now they're all complaining that it's hell on earth and there's no food and all their buildings are destroyed. But they love death more than we love life, and they're all ready to die, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's I mean, I'm sorry, dude. Honestly, Gaza needs to be treated like the Romans treated Carthage after the Third War. Boom. At least for a generation. Just leave it.
Eric, can you show that picture I've put up there, since we want to show them what their idea of heaven was? This is Gaza before they attacked Israel.
Exactly.
It was like a heaven, but that was their choice.
So where's all their if this is their concentration camp, where's all the garb where they have to wear, like the Jews had to wear a star? Don't they have to wear like a crescent moon or something like that? If it's a concentration camp, I mean,
why are the women in bikinis?
Apartheid state.
Put that women in bikinis in this.
Yeah, why are the women in bikinis?
Hold on. Let's see. Are they in bikinis?
I don't see anybody
Hello.
in bikinis.
I do.
I don't see. I see burkini. I see a burkini. I don't see any bikinis.
Yeah,
I
this
see
ain't
women in.
Miami Beach. This ain't South Miami Beach. Trust me, I was at South Miami Beach. Oh my God, just like 4 weeks ago now.
No, this is. I think there are burkinis and they're in shorts, maybe.
All right. Well, the bottom line is, you guys are. This is not the
no.
camp that they try to present it as.
So here's the thing. This place could be a paradise. This place could Tel Aviv. It could be the sister city of Tel Aviv. Okay, they actually even better than Tel Aviv. They actually have an international harbor at Gaza. Well, now it's been blown up, so forget about it. But they can still rebuild it. Okay, where you could have international trade coming into Gaza. They actually have. They could build up. Let me put it this way. There's this meme that Paul Williams, the gay Muslim, posted, where there's a Native American in Native American dress talking to an Arab in Arab dress, and he's like, "I wonder what they're talking about." And I respond, I'm like, the Native American saying, "Dude, build casinos, not bombs or tunnels." That's what he's saying to you. Become millionaires, okay? No, seriously. And this is why if Trump was president, he would go there and be like, "Oh, look, we can build a casino there, we can build a hotel there, we can build." Oh my God, you idiots, man. I mean, no, seriously, they're doing this to themselves. Do you know they had an international airport there? 2007? Or no, 2006 or so, it became operational for only 1 year, and then Hamas took over. An international airport. They had international flights coming in there. People want to go to Gaza as long as it's not blown up or a complete cesspool. Okay? Seriously.
I have a question. Wouldn't they have to take the religious element out of it? Like, if I die while murdering non-Muslims, I'll go straight to Allah's, heaven. I mean, it sounds good to us to have a casino and, a resort, but you got to take that religious element out of it, or,
Well, I think Rad was just being facetious with it. What these people need, and I said this the day that this happened, what these people need is they don't need any relief from the United Nations. They don't need a ceasefire. They need Jesus Christ is what they need. And the reason why is because they have this cancer in their hearts called Islam. And what it does is it causes them to have this hatred for anything non-Islam.
Yeah.
And that includes, and most specifically, the Jews. Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah. And actually, you're kind of saying what I'm saying, except you're saying it better. That's the religious element, I think,
Right. Well, but the thing, yeah, and it is a religious element. It's a religious admonition for them to kill Jews. If you look at what their Friday mosque, what they're screaming and yelling every Friday, is that, "Oh, come Muslim, there's a Jew behind this tree, hide him, come kill him," or "There's a Jew behind this stone." And because what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring in their last imam, their last mufti, or whatever the heck they call it, and they invoke this to gin up hatred towards Jews. And it works because you have people like, well, I'm not going to say, but you have people that are not very intelligent, and they fall for this type of stuff, and they go out and they commit these acts of terror, these acts of violence against other people who are not of their religious persuasion. I wanted to show you a film clip here of an Israeli officer going into Gaza. And I want you to notice what they find inside of one of these apartments that has been, it's been slightly damaged. Here, let's take a look here. Okay.
נמצאים באחת השכונות הצפוניות של העיר עזה, חטיבה 261, 7007, צוות ינובסקי. יצאנו בימים האחרונים לסריקות במבנים האלו, מבני מגורים עם כמה קומות. זה מה שאנחנו רואים.
Okay, notice the security there. Israelis are I mean, when you here,
but you won't find this in Iraq or Iran, will you?
No. Well, what I was just pointing out is here, you just notice the tactics that Israeli soldiers employ. I mean, you can tell that they are a well-trained and truly professional army, constantly, especially in urban environments, constantly on the watch. Let me put this back up here. Okay, now look at these boxes. UNRWA. So they have boxes. They're packing stuff in UNRWA boxes. That's the United Nations organization. Is right there. And then, oh, what do we got here? Right here in the next room. Oh, I don't know. A bunch of flipping rockets. Look at this.
ראשי נפץ מטענים, הכל מוכן לשיגור לישראל, לאשקלון, והכל בתוך שכונת מגורים צפופה.
Okay, so here you have when we start talking about Nihad Awad's his dream here of the Gazans going in there. What they're doing is they're using the United Nations as a means to.
That was a UN doctor's house.
Oh, is that what it was?
His house
to fire down on Israel.
Yeah.
Whoa! Stop! It was a UN doctor's his house, and it had that hardware in it.
Yes,
you got to be kidding me.
It gets better. It was covered on CNN. That whole thing, the whole clip is on CNN.
Golly! Wow! Wow! I didn't realize that it was the doctor's house. All I know is that they did have these boxes in there from UNRWA, which implicates UNRWA in all kinds of things going on with these people. That is crazy. That is oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the UN people, one of the UN, it was either an educator or UNRWA, actually held a couple of the hostages in his attic and very rarely fed the hostages that he held.
These are horrible people. No, the whole UNRAW or whatever it's called.
UNRWA.
UNRWA. They need to be first of all defunded, and second of all arrested and tried.
Well, here's what I found was priceless. When we looked in horror as these Israeli hostages were released this was last week or whatever it was. Many of them had lost at least 10%, some of them 15% of their body weight within a month.
They're also drugged.
They were drugged, so they'd be happy. Oh, hello, yeah, my hostage. Okay. Then yesterday, and the last couple of days, have you been seeing these mass surrenders of these Hamas holes? They've been rounded up, just stripped down to their underwear.
They got to put bras in these tranny Hamasians. I'm just sorry.
Well, one thing that I noticed. Okay, one thing that I noticed is a lot of these fellas, they're not missing very many meals. When you start looking at, okay, if you're a soldier, I mean, if you're a soldier in the United States Army and you look like that, they put you out because we have height and weight standards in the Army that says if you're some portly, I'm not saying if you're not a soldier, but these guys, if you're a soldier and you're that big, you're eating way too much. You need to stay away from the chow hall. And then on top of that, they had that one reporter. They're saying, "Oh, here, they look at the Israelis. They rounded up this UN report, not a UN reporter. It was some reporter. Well, what in the heck is this guy hanging out with the Hamas holes to begin with? I mean, why is he getting picked up by the Israelis? So when we look at all of these mass surrenders." Go ahead.
Did I send you that clip of the Hamas guy? He's giving them Bismillah, and he's there where Hamas is firing the rockets. I mean, he's right there, and he's giving them Bismillah, and he's got the press thing on.
Well, you saw the picture. You saw the picture of the guys in the underwear, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have a picture with I think it's 2 or 3 people circled who are representatives of the UN.
Yeah, I think that's what I thought it was what I was thinking. I was thinking it was a reporter, but now that you mentioned it as the UN, they are members of the UN, right?
If you want, and then there, just to let people know, I'm going to put out a link for everybody to see that The New York Post actually covered the drugs. They covered a story on the drugs. Now, Israelis give you the exact name of the drugs that were given, but it says Usama and I covered this. We said the the Israeli Health Ministry representative told the Knesset Health Committee that the hostages freed from Hamas captivity were given tranquilizer pills before being handed over to the Red Cross for transfer to Israel. The drugging was aimed to make the hostages appear calm, happy, and upbeat after suffering starvation, physical abuse, sleep deprivation, and the purpose was to create more psychological terror than the previous 50 days.
Now would be a good time for NASA to take Hamas and start a colony on Mars.
Well, the truth is, no Muslim countries want them, because wherever they go, this group of people, they commit crimes of treason. Doesn't matter which Muslim country they're in, they start an uprising. So it doesn't matter if they live by Israel. If they're in Egypt, they got kicked out. They were in Lebanon, they got kicked out. They go every place they go. This group of people goes, they get kicked out of because they commit acts of treason.
Yeah, and Mars is the red planet, so perfect place for them. Thank you.
Okay, I want to show a couple things that what Hamas is doing to protect the Palestinian people. Let me see up. Nope, I knew that was that. I knew that was.
It happens. Yeah, it happens every time with memory when you don't. When you get it prepared ahead of time.
Hold on, let's bring it back up. Here it is.
Down.
All right, here we go.
Make a big screen. Yeah, go ahead.
No sound.
I can hear it.
You can hear it?
No. Nope.
انت عارف انه كل الناس هذه ما حدش لا لاقي شرب واكل.
Can you guys see? Well, it doesn't matter. She's speaking.
Yes, I can now.
كلهم بيعانوا.
الوضع صعب، لا تدخل المساعدات.
ما في المساعدات كلها نازله تحت.
Hold on.
المساعدات ما بيجوا للأم.
What?
Yeah, hold on. Rewind it. We got to take this step by step on this one.
Okay, so here this lady is complaining about Hamas taking all of the aid. This is what it is. This is what it is.
انت عارف انه كل الناس هذه ما حدش لا لاقي شرب واكل.
كلهم بيعانوا.
الوضع صعب، لا تدخل المساعدات.
ما في المساعدات كلها نازله تحت. المساعدات ما بيجوا للأمة ولا بيجي للشعب كله.
Okay, so notice she's saying that all the aid is going to the Hamas holes. It's not going to the Gazan people. It's going to
notice the news source too. This is the Muslim Brotherhood news source.
Right.
It's Al Jazeera. It is the Hamas mouthpiece. So it's important to understand that the Muslim Brotherhood is in partially disavowing a chapter by allowing this to get out.
Okay, now watch what.
Well, also, this is live. This is broadcast live. So they're thinking so they did not. The news reporters and their crew on the ground, in other words, this woman snuck through. They thought they were going to get something that was going to be accusing the Israelis of all this evil. And she's like, yeah, I'm not having none of it. But go ahead. Okay. You're going to see this. This is brilliant. Go ahead.
Now, watch what this guy does right here. This guy. I'm sorry. You can't see that. This guy right here. This guy.
The guy right behind her. The guy
right behind her. Not the guy with the Under Armour hat on, but the guy with the green hat on, or the beige hat, or whatever it is. Now watch. Watch his reaction to her at the end. It's hilarious.
احنا جايين من غزة وكل الدعم بيجي لنا. أنا بحكي ما بخافش منهم. أنا بحكي لهم كمان.
Okay, I'm not afraid of Hamas. I am talking to them as well. Now.
أنا كل الدعم بيجي لقطاع غزة.
الحج كتير بيوصل اللي بيوصل إشي قليل وبيتوزع هيك بيحكوا.
This is what they say.
Wait,
stop it. Do you notice that? Go back to that. Let's read that. This is what they say. Aid is coming in. A lot of aid is coming in. It's being distributed. This is what they say. Who is they? Hamas.
وبيتوزع هيك بيحكوا.
كله للبيوت
إلهم. No, look at her hand.
ولا يطخون ولا يعملوا اللي بدهم إياه.
Shoot me, do whatever they want to me. But you hear how she shakes
she have
her
a
head?
mustache?
Yeah, she's in the
now watch
woman.
what this
Look
guy
at all the
behind me.
eyes the kids are like, whoa.
Yeah.
يا حج احنا الان يبدو ان الامور
He's like, you're
He's
going
like,
to be dead, lady.
no, you don't. Yes, he's like, shut up, bitch. Oh no, you're gonna get us all killed.
Yeah,
Look at all
that's
the kids are like, oh god, you're gonna get us all killed.
you
But
just
the
signed
reporter,
our death warrant, lady.
no, bring it back up. Play the end. Play
I
the end
just
because
I just turned it off. I just
bring it
dumped
back.
it.
Oh, dude,
I
the end
just
is the
dumped
funniest
it.
part. Oh, the end is the funniest part. Why would you do that? The end is the funniest part because the reporter, after all this report, says, "Oh well, clearly the situation is confusing." No, she just told you the situation, dude.
All right, hold on. I got it.
I think it's
Wow.
funny that they say
Finding.
there's all this aid coming in, but the aid has again, the aid is dependent on Egypt opening the border.
Well, it's going to well even when it does get
Not
in, it's going,
Israel.
like she said, it goes straight to Hamas. It goes straight to
Yes.
the tunnels. They come.
Well,
There's
I was gonna
actually
show-
videos where they got kids throwing rocks at Hamas. Yeah. Okay, bring it up. Pull it up. What'd you do?
All right.
Okay, play the whole thing.
حج احنا الان يبدو ان الامور شوي فيها نوع من
Shut up.
The situation
Okay, so
is
it's
unclear.
unclear.
احنا الان يبدو
It seems that
No,
the
this-
situation is unclear, and then he ends it.
And then this guy is like, lady,
Mhm.
you are dead. you
Yep.
just got us all
الامور شوي فيها نوع من
killed. You got us all killed. Way to go.
And he's backing up. There's another one where I seen where the reporter is talking to the guy in the hospital, and the guy is saying, "Yes, the Hamas came in here. They're here right now. We can't know." And the reporter's like, "Oh no,
And they
we
tried
gotta
to
go break
silence
in."
them.
You know, oh no,
They went off the air.
exactly. No. So when they do this live stuff, some of these people are breaking through because they're like, "Yeah, we're not. No, you people, no." Yeah, so
they're done with it.
There are good people on both sides, to paraphrase Donald Trump. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah.
Okay, watch this. Okay, so here you have, this is a UN food being delivered to the Palestinians, and here you have Hamas coming up, stealing it and giving people a beat down while they're doing it. Watch this. 30 some odd seconds long. So they're stealing this, evidently. And they're taking it from the civilians. And then they're they're beating the civilians and get out of here. You're not getting the food. This is our food. They're beating him with I don't know what they're beating him with. So they drive off. They're driving off now. And they track them. And they tracked them to where, to this location where they're now offloading the food to go into this house, tunnel, or whatever the heck it is. So here you have the Israelis are actually, every square inch, I'm sure, of the strip is being surveilled by some type of drone. Everything that moves is being surveilled by something there.
Why didn't this video end with an explosion? I'm just saying, dude.
Because it takes a while to call in. It takes a while to call in.
So this is why everything should just be given over to AI. It will take care of it. Everything.
No.
Because of the wonderful things he does.
There we go. Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Okay. Let me see. What else did I want to show here? I'm not going to finish up with Awad. He doesn't make any. We're not going to do anything for Hamza this week because I got some Hamza's Den stuff here. Let's do this one. The children in Gaza. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but this is when we start talking about what happens after this war. What are they going to do with the Gazan people? And when you see videos like this, you're just exasperated. You don't know what can you do, because what they're doing is they're teaching their kids to hate Jews at such an early age, and they teaching them to engage in this type of behavior that I'm going to show you here. And it's just sick. Let me make this bigger so Okay, because I can't get it to come up big on. There we go. All right, let's play this. Okay, these kids are 6 and 7 years old. Younger.
So please tell us what the little girls will get from becoming martyrs. Because I don't know what the women get, period. Because they're not going to be seeking 72, they're not going to be getting 72 female virgins.
I don't know.
They don't want them to know that.
Right. I don't know what you do with kids when you teach your kids to hate like this. To want to go out and kill other people because of their religion. If somebody in here, let me just say this, if somebody on this panel ever promoted the idea of attacking a Muslim, acting out violently against a Muslim, I'd boot him from the street, and you wouldn't give a chance to talk ever again on this show. But yet, this is what these people. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it would be easier for someone to tie a millstone around their neck and throw themselves into the sea as to offend one of God's little ones. Right. And that's what these people are doing. Exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, they would, all of them. I mean, is that what you do with them? You tie millstones around their necks for teaching these kids that, well, this is what the Bible says.
That's what Jesus says. It would be better that this happened than to teach them this.
Don't get it twisted. What does this mean, Gerald?
Doesn't this make the moderate Muslim irrelevant? Because they hand over their kids to learn that kind of stuff.
Moderate Muslim is a lie. Moderate Muslim is a lie.
Islam teaches moderate Islam is a joke, and most Muslims will tell you there's no such thing as moderate or radical Islam. But here's a couple passages from the Quran. Quran 385. If anyone desires a religion other than Islam, never will it be accepted of him, and hereafter he will be in the ranks of those who have lost. Quran 3:19. The only religion in the sight of God is Islam. 48:29. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and those who are with him are strong against unbelievers, but compassionate amongst others. That's 48:29. I'm sorry. 9:73. O prophet, strive hard against the unbelievers and the hypocrites, and be firm against them. Their abode is hell, and evil refuge indeed. They teach so much hatred of non-Muslims. It's imbued. I mean, 17 times a day they are banging their head on the ground and repeating Surah 1, and that's an expression of hatred to Christians and Jews. Think about it. It's
Surah 9.5.
Yeah, well, there's several of them in there. Let's see here. There are extremists on both sides. I know some personally. Anyway, I have to eat dinner. Peace. All right, peace to you, George. Have a good evening.
There are good people on both sides.
Okay, let's just make sure this is it's a fallacy where you're trying to equate the two as being equal. The Jews, the people in Israel, do not train their kids to hate Muslims
or blow them up.
The Israelis aren't hiding behind children. Number one, the Israelis do not use their children as shields. The Israelis don't hide behind citizen buildings and shoot their guns or their rifles or their rockets. Real soldiers act as soldiers and not as cowards hiding behind those of others.
That's exactly what they are, a bunch of cowards. All right, folks. Okay, I'm going to have to cut it short because I got to run down to the church. Next week, I'm not going to be here. We're not going to have a show unless somebody wants to host the show. Rad, you could run a show if you want to. I don't mind at all.
Wait, you want me to? You, we'll get us banned forever, dude. Yeah, me running.
I trust Rad. I trust Red. Anyway, if you want to run a show.
Okay, show title: Gay Pride Parade in Gaza. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to turn the channel off temporarily. It will not be operating. Yeah.
Well,
no, that's what Gaza really needs.
Oh my God.
I'm asking you guys what you want to do because the following Sunday is Christmas Eve, and we are having.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Is it really?
And then the following Sunday is New Year's Eve, so we're looking at.
Oh, we can have a New Year's Eve special, unless everybody's going out. And no, because none
we
of
can
us
take
go
a
out.
break. We can take a break and celebrate the wise men coming to give Jesus gifts. No, it's not Jesus' birthday like a lot of people want to say it is. It's the day that the wise men finally showed up after he was born.
See,
to give
I
him
knew.
gifts.
I knew you were a heretic there. I'm just saying. How dare you? But no, yeah, Christmas. I didn't know next week's Christmas Eve. Wow. Okay, so yeah, next week.
No, not next week. It's the week after. That's Christmas.
Right. Next week is the 17th. Somebody's going to a Titans game.
Okay, thank God. Oh my God, because I was just freaking out because I have not wrapped all my presents to me yet. So.
You bought your presents.
Of course, yeah, I gotta wrap them. Put them under the tree because that's for me. Anyway, because nobody else buys me presents. I'm just saying. But no. How about we do? Unless you guys all got plans, you gotta go out with your dates, your girlfriends, your wives, or whatever. But on New Year's Eve, we should put together, Islam year in review. You know what I mean? That can be fun.
I have enough stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be available. I have to check the schedule. I have to check with the Queen what the Queen.
We
wants
can do
to
that at the beginning of the year.
Would be the following Sunday. Yeah, we'll talk about it offline, guys.
All right.
But I really appreciate everybody coming once again tonight and sharing their opinions here in the studio, and then post people in the chat. Thank you so much for opining, and we will see you not next week or maybe even watch the channel, and also if you could subscribe and what's the thing that you do for hit the bell for updates. If you ring the bell, we'll send you updates when we're going to be
subscribe to get the updates.
Right.
Subscribe to get the updates.
Yep. All right. God bless y'all, and we will see you then. I have not forgotten to do the cold close. The cold close is right here. All right. God bless you. We'll see you next time.
Advanced student and specialist, that the standard narrative has holes. That's what
that the Muslims were rioting against one another. And as much as we don't want to face the fact, the Muslims were lying sometimes. They were fabricating, they were embellishing, and that might be hard to accept, but that is a reality.